What's up everybody, Kier Gomes here, and today we're going to do a Q&A. I've done a Q&A video in the past. It actually went really well. I was really proud of the video, the way it came out. So today what I thought I would do is another Q&A session, and then we're going to throw in a little bit of a deck review at the end. So make sure you stay all the way to the end of this video because we're going to be talking about a pretty exciting deck. We are outside again today because, as you can see, it's finally fall. If you didn't know this about me, fall is actually my favorite season because I've been living in Arizona for the last few years and we very rarely get any of this. So I'm out here to enjoy it, but I figured why not make a video while I'm doing it. So without further ado, let's roll that intro and answer some questions.
Let's go.
First question is, what keeps me motivated? That's a great question. I think people should ask themselves that, but I also always appreciate getting asked that. As far as Magic goes, what keeps me motivated is, I guess, just knowing that, we're on the forefront of a whole new age of Magic. As corny as that sounds, I mean, Magic is making its way into the digital world, and I think that's extremely exciting. So just kind of wanting to get my little piece of that is definitely what keeps me motivated, not only to keep making videos, but just to keep pushing myself and kind of realizing that I'm always going to be a student of Magic. You're never done learning, so that's definitely what keeps me motivated. Not to say that I don't have days where I don't feel motivated. That just comes with anything you do. You do something long enough, eventually you're gonna have those days where you're a little bit off, but in the long and short, after you take a break, you go do something else, you come back and you're motivated all over again. So that's what does it for me. I hope that helps. Question number 2, this one came from a friend of mine, Jeff Patton Magic. He wants to know if I had my face on a court card, what court card would it be and why? For those of you that don't know, a court card is either the Jack, Queen, or King of any given suit in a deck of cards. Surprisingly, I've never actually thought about that. When I designed the Chalkbox deck, I intentionally wanted standard court cards and standard faces. I guess if I had to choose one, it would probably be, I would say, the King of Clubs. Clubs are my favorite suit in a deck of cards, and something about the King of Clubs has always attracted me, so I would say, yeah, if I had to be anything, probably the King of Clubs. Alright, so this next one is kind of a broad question, but why Magic? I'm going to try to steer away from how I got into Magic because I've answered that in a separate Q&A video. But the reason that I continue to choose to do Magic is it's what sticks, you know? As humans, we try a lot of different things. We all want to fit in. We all try different activities to see what we like. For me, I've gone through many phases, a lot of different things. I was into skateboarding for a long time. Briefly, I was into music. I've always been really passionate about drawing and painting. Magic has always been something that I've come back to. So I think for me, it came down to what have I not outgrown? And Magic is just one of those things that I can't outgrow. And now Greg Connor wants to know if I could only do one effect for the rest of my career, what would it be and why? I don't know if there is an answer to that. I think it really depends on what mood I'm in, what effects I enjoy doing. I do have a few card effects that I constantly use and that I work into my routines for pretty much anything. It would definitely be a card routine for sure. As my chosen effect. 90% of what I do is with cards. But as far as the specifics, I just don't know. Maybe some kind of ambitious card variation because there's so much you can do with it. Possibly Back in Time by Jay Sankey. That's a really, really good effect. So I would highly recommend learning that one if you don't know it. All right, next question. What is up with Chalkbox? So the first design that we released, I was extremely excited about. I think it went really well. The trailer is a video that I'm super proud of. I'll link that down below if you haven't seen it. It's really good. But we are working on a V2. So I recently was in contact with the USPCC, kind of just trying to work out some details about what it would take to get the decks printed on a stock and finish that I want, that I enjoy. Also had some communication briefly with Gemini, trying to get them to pick up the Chalkbox label so we could collab on the deck. I think what I'm doing and what they're doing really seem to mesh together, so I will keep you guys posted. It probably is a while off though. I have a lot of other things that I'm working on that I'm excited about. At the moment, I just don't think we've generated the friction that we need, the traction that we need to release a second deck. All right, next question. How do I know Steven Hammer? Yeah, I met Steven Hammer through this platform, so we collaborated on a video. We're actually doing a giveaway, so if you haven't seen that, I'll also link that one down below. Yeah, it was just kind of, it just kind of happened. I was really lucky. He subscribed to my channel a few months ago and actually was not even aware of that. I didn't even know. We started talking from there. I hit him up and yeah, from there we connected and it's been really good since. So I would highly recommend looking into his channel also if you haven't seen it, although if you're here, you probably have. Question number 7 is, you're ugly. not much I can do about that. We're born the way we're born, so sorry. Next question, Jeremy Griffith or Xavier Spade? How does one decide? I had this conversation with a buddy of mine recently, and I mean, truth be told, they're two different people that are very, very strong at what they do. I would sell my soul to have either of their magical powers. So, what would I do if I wasn't doing magic? I would honestly probably try to do something in the comic book world. Like I said, I'm very passionate about drawing and painting. I really love drawing superheroes. I love reading comics. My favorite comic is The Watchmen. If you haven't checked that out, I would highly recommend it. Yeah, I'd probably try to be doing something in the comic book world. And the final question, favorite deck of 2018 so far? There's been so many, even in the last 6 months, there's been so many decks that have come out. So right now, I have to say it is the Squeezers deck by Organic Playing Cards. These are the follow-up to the Peelers deck that came out a little bit earlier this year. Those were pretty hype, a lot of people had them. This is actually the deck that we're going to be reviewing today. So with that being said, that's enough of the questions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the cards. Alright, so we are looking at the Squeezers deck. This is by Organic Playing Cards and riffleshuffle.com. If you don't know what these are, the Peelers that came out earlier this year, they were the like pale blue deck with the bananas on them. I actually reviewed that deck as well, and I'll link that video below. This is kind of the sophomore deck from Organic Playing Cards. Technically the first release from the company Organic Playing Cards. Before that they were called something else. So this deck just came out last week. There's a lot of hype around it. If you follow Organic Playing Cards, you know that they're very proud of this project, and for good reason. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So the front of the tuck case, actually the entire tuck case is meant to look like a juice box. There's a couple little subtleties on here that I think really add to the quality of this tuck case. The front just says Squeezers. It's got that kind of cascading orange juice. It says 100% orange juice on the front. The side says Light Pulp. Other side says no artificial flavors or preservatives. The bottom says 1 of 2,000, so this was a limited release. The back is your nutrition facts, so this was very clever. Actually, this was probably my favorite touch with the tuck case. It says serving size 13 cards, 4 servings per container. That would add up to 52 cards, so a standard deck. Calories 56, calories from fat 4. So this is actually super cool because there's 56 cards in here, and it's because there's 2 jokers and 2 gaff cards, and those are your calories from fat, so just the extra. Ingredients, I love this too. Paper, premium stock, linen finish, cellophane wrap, water, and orange juice. Top of the tuck case has this little punch out where you could put your straw. So just like a regular juice box. So inside the tuck flap just says Squeezers. I love the green and orange, by the way, it looks awesome. And nothing on the inside. The back design of the cards is this really, really nice pale green. Kind of like almost mint green, but a little bit more green. It looks super good in contrast with that orange. You do get that thin border. I think the borders on this deck are thinner than the Peelers, and if you remember from my review of the Peelers, my one kind of critique was that the borders looked a little bit thick. This deck is also pretty thick. You can see it's printed on a B stock, like a casino stock. So if you know me, you know that's my favorite card stock. I think thick cards, if you can make them soft, I love thick cards. They last pretty long. They just feel so good. Now, as far as gaff cards, you are gonna get some double backers. This one is the back design of the deck, and then you get a little Easter egg for probably a deck to come, which is a pink or red version of the Peelers. Next double backer is the back design of the cards, and then the front of the tuck case says Squeezer. So you could say that you're holding the cards in the tuck case. You know, this is a good camera trick for sure. It looks like they're in the case, and then you can maybe do like a Erdnase change where you've now taken the cards out of the tuck case. Obviously, you want to avoid flashing. I'm just giving you an example. You are also going to get your 2 identical jokers. It's just, it says Joker in the corner, and it's got that enlarged half an orange from the back of the tuck case, dripping some OJ from it. These jokers are super sick. I'm actually really stoked about those. This is your Ace of Spades, or Vase of Spades, as they referred to it on Riffle Shuffle. Basically, it's an orange juice pitcher, like an orange juice vase, shaped like a spade. Got some OJ in it, just says Squeezers below it. Super simple, I really like that concept, it looks great. Now, other than that, you are going to get pretty standard pips, indices, and court cards. They do all have some little tweaks. So one thing is, similar to the peelers, the pips and indices are smaller than they would be on a standard deck of bicycles. I think that looks awesome. It looks super clean. But you'll also notice that the red pips, so on the hearts and diamonds, has been swapped. Instead of red, now it's orange. Usually I prefer as standard as you can get with pips and indices, but I feel like for this deck it definitely looks better with that black and orange. Also, given that this was a autumn release with Halloween coming up, it's very festive, very of the season, so I love the orange pips. Alright, now your court cards, there is some color customization, which is totally fine, but also you'll notice instead of weapons, each court card is holding something that has to do with oranges. So this guy's holding like a kind of spiraled orange peel. The King of Spades has his sword, but it's got an orange. It's like piercing right through an orange. Jack of Hearts, just sipping some OJ there, chilling. You get the idea. Each court card has something different in reference to oranges or orange juice, which I think is a nice touch. It's very, very cool. Kind of reminds me of like almost like the Chicken Nuggets deck that was a parody off of the Jerry's Nuggets deck, where everybody's just kind of pigging out. It's kind of that same thing. As far as handling of these cards, I cannot explain to you. I received these cards in the mail maybe like 4 days ago, and I've been using them every single day since. I can't put them down. They feel, like I said before, they feel very thick. They feel kind of like a B. However, similar to most decks that have been released by USPCC lately, they're extremely flexible and super soft right away. So whereas most thick cards in the past have been, I guess, on the stiff side, they've been kind of difficult to break in, and these cards definitely did not have that issue. Right out of the box, they were able to bend and flex, which is nice. It's less time you have to spend breaking in your cards. I think I bought 3 decks of these, so this is after 4 days of excessive use. I mean, we're talking probably a total of 12 hours of shuffling and springing and certain slides with this deck. I would say, honestly, they hold up great. I prefer these to the peelers. I think these are a superior deck, so you can bust out some cardistry, seeing as this is a cardistry deck. I never claimed to be a cardist, okay? I should have got a brick. Well, guys, that is going to do it for today's video. I will be posting another one maybe tomorrow. I might do another one tomorrow. Either way, thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't yet, check out the link down below. I am doing a giveaway. So if you haven't entered yet, as I always say, I don't know what the hell you're waiting for. So anyway, guys, really appreciate you watching. Hope you're having a great weekend. I know I am. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.